Hello, my name is Jennifer Wilson, and I'm with the Gulfport School District, and today I'm going to talk about standard W.4.2 informative writing. Let's get started. Okay, so first thing I have is rules for informative writing. Very first thing is finding your sources. Where do you want to look to find your information on the topic you are about to report on? You can use your school library for books on the topic, or you can also find different sources from the internet, but make sure you go to credible search engines. Kindle is really good. It's like the school version of Google, but also stay away from Wikipedia. That is not a credible source because it can be edited at any time. Okay, so now let's look at what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be setting up our writing. So I like to use the acronym INFORM when I am writing my informative writing. Very first thing is starting with the letter I. I need to include an opening paragraph that tells the topic, and I need to include that hook. And then the next thing is I want to include in each paragraph, or if I'm just writing one paragraph, I'm naming the facts about my topic. I'm giving that information. And then the next thing, I'm following those facts up with supporting details. I'm elaborating more, and I want to become an expert about what I'm telling you. Okay, and the next thing is organizing your writing. Make sure that you're using transition words and that you're making it flow so we get an idea of what you're telling us. Also, make sure you stay in sequence, that you're starting from the beginning, going all the way to the end. And the next thing is refer to the topic and include key vocabulary. So if you're talking about a particular person who has done something in their life, make sure you include vocabulary that would relate to that particular person. And then the last thing is making that closing paragraph or that closing sentence related to your topic. So you're closing it up and you're making it nice and neat. Okay, so let's look at an example of some information on the topic that I have chosen. Okay, so I have decided to write my informative writing on Stephen Curry. So I have listed two sources, which you can have more than one source because sometimes one source may not have enough information, so you need to rely on something else. And what I have done is I have given more of a biography about Stephen Curry, and I've also found something that has a lot of timeline events that is important to Stephen's career because not everything is going to be the same. So what I have done with these two sources is I have pulled out the information, and also I have decided on what direction I want to go in with my writing. And where I want to go is I want to talk about how he has overcome challenges playing basketball. Okay, so I've pulled out some important details that I want to include in my writing. I included that he plays for the Golden State Warriors. I included that his dad played for the NBA and mom played volleyball in college. That gives a little bit of background about what his life was like when he was younger. Also, I included that coaches told him he was too scrawny to play. Because again, I'm talking about those challenges that he overcame. I want to include that particular detail because it is important to our topic. And next, I included that he actually played in college and he led his team to the NCAA tournament, which is a big deal. And then I included that in his senior year in college, he was drafted by the Warriors. And then he went on to become the most valuable player 2 years in a row. And he also led his team to back-to-back NBA finals and actually winning the championships. So I wanted to include that in there as well. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow a particular graphic organizer. And this is something that I like to use when I am writing. I like to start off with my introduction and hook. If I'm just writing a paragraph, you can still use this same format. If I'm writing multiple paragraphs, I can still follow this particular graphic organizer. So the very first thing is my introduction. I want you to know who I'm writing about, who you're about to learn from me as the writer. And then also I include my facts with my supporting details. And I make sure that they follow in sequence order. That's important. And then I finish it off with my conclusion. So I'm wrapping up my topic, my introduction, and what I'm reporting about. So let's see what I have done with my story or my information about Stephen Curry. Okay, so the very first thing I did was I included my hook. I wanted to get my reader interested in what I'm about to tell them about Steph Curry. Did you know Stephen Curry wasn't always the greatest basketball player? Okay, so I started off with a question because I want you to be interested in what I'm about to tell you. So I'm leading off with that question, and you can do that. That is what we call your hook. Okay, so then I start leading into facts and details about his life. I included that he was born in Charlotte. Both of his parents were athletes. His dad actually played for the NBA team, the Charlotte Hornets, and that his mom was a volleyball player. And he grew up playing basketball. Then I moved into that he was told he was too scrawny in high school, so he didn't get recruited to top schools. But he ended up going to Davidson College, and he led his basketball team to the NCAA tournament, which is a big deal. Then I started moving into more present day, the things that he had to overcome and the challenges that he met when he started playing professional basketball. He was drafted by the Golden State Warriors. Then he went on to become MVP, and he led his team to back-to-back championships. So I concluded by saying that if Stephen Curry can show that if you work hard, you can overcome those challenges. Okay, so that's my graphic organizer. Now I'm going to turn it into my actual paragraph. All right. So now I want to take that information that I filled out in my graphic organizer, and I'm now going to transfer it into my writing, into my paragraph. Did you know Stephen Curry wasn't always the greatest basketball player? Stephen Curry was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, to two top athletes. His dad played for the Charlotte Hornets, and his mom was a volleyball player at Virginia Tech. Curry grew up playing basketball. He was told he was too scrawny in high school. Top colleges didn't want to recruit him because of his size. In college, he played for the small school known as Davidson College. He ended up leading them to their first NCAA tournament game since 1969. In his senior year, Curry was drafted by the Golden State Warriors. He was voted most valuable player during his first season with the Warriors. Stephen Curry led his team to 3 back-to-back NBA championships. Stephen Curry proved that if you work hard, you can overcome many challenges. So I did add a few extra things because I wanted to include some more details to give those facts about how he overcame those challenges, how he went from having 2 parents that were top athletes. He was told when he was younger that he couldn't play basketball because he was too scrawny, to ended up going on and playing for a top basketball team and helping them lead to big championships. So you can see that I have started and I followed my graphic organizer so you can see my ideas on paper. So this is one way that you can use this information to create your own informative writing. I can't wait to see some of your writings.